Hello, everyone, to all of you who participated in the Toombs Montgomery Chamber of Commerce 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership class. So today we had an amazing class. The first class was great. There was great interaction, great chemistry between all of the participants. And I know several of you were out today due to vacation, family emergencies, and things of that nature. So what I wanted to do was do a short recap of what we discussed, what our assignment was, so that you can be caught up, because I know you're committed to your own personal growth and development. And so you'll be able to be caught up and you can engage with us on next week. So this week we went through the law of the lid, and the law of the lid simply states that your lid, there is a lid on your level of effectiveness as a leader, and it's important that we identify that and we identify what those barriers are so that lid can be raised. If the lid is not raised, what happens is you come into an organization at this level, and then here's the organization, and so you are able to make some impact and make some growth, and some things can move in that organization. But what will happen is eventually you will hit your lid, and then you'll be stuck and you can't go any further unless you identify that barrier, grow yourself, move the lid so the organization can begin to grow again. We all know that when major corporations hit that lid, the first person they replace is the boss, the CEO, because they bring somebody else in with a higher lid, a higher capacity, so that organization can begin to grow again for a much longer period of time. So it's so important to identify what those barriers are in the beginning, because if you can be honest with yourself in the beginning and identify whether you deal with fear, impatience, denial, being impulsive, lack of knowledge, overconfident, lack of understanding, or if you're just worried about what people think all the time, because just simply being worried about what others think can put a lid, because you won't take risk, even healthy risk, right? So you have to identify what your barrier is. That was the very first thing we did. We identified our lids, we went around the room and we shared those, because we want to make a commitment to grow in that area. The second thing is, our homework is to identify your why, W-H-Y. Why are you running that company? Why are you the department head? Why did you serve as a volunteer? Why? It's so important, because you have to ask yourself, if I don't get paid this week, will I still do it? If I make a mistake in this organization and other people find out about my mistake, is my why strong enough for me to continue? Why? It's so important that you get down to the heart of the matter, and your why needs to be strong. Your why can't just be because that's what somebody wants you to do. It needs to be because it's what you want to do. It needs to have some passion behind it, some fire behind it. It's relevant. It means something to you. Bring that with you next week. That's what we're going to start with right at 12 o'clock. Everybody is going to share who you are and why you do what you do. And then in your attachments, you have a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, the syllabus for next week, everything that you need to get caught up or to review. So for next week, we're doing chapters 2 and chapter 3, the law of influence and the law of process. And let me tell you, when you put the law of the lid, the law of influence, and the law of process in place, there's nothing that you can't do, because you will identify the barriers. You will understand that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And you'll put a process in place to make the necessary changes. And every time you begin your organization hit that wall, or you hit a barrier, you go back and you identify that lid again. You see where you need to improve in your influence, and then you see what new processes you need to put in place. I promise you, next week it's even better, because all three of these things work together to help you get to the next level. I'm so excited about what's to come. I assure you that you're going to learn something new, something practical, something that applies to you every week. I'm looking forward to it. Y'all have a great day.